As the Oklahoma Sooners have had a few spring transfer portal additions, hey, you know what? The Oklahoma Sooners are going into the transfer portal and trying to find a couple pieces that could potentially provide some depth for the Oklahoma Sooners going into the 2023 season. And or, hey, just be key pieces that could come in and provide you meaningful minutes. The Oklahoma Sooners lost Jaden Davis, Damon Harmon, Jamarian Burt, and Cullen Montgomery, along with Corey Roberson this past spring. And yeah, let's talk about who they're going out there and looking at. But before we dive into it, please go ahead and hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you all are thinking down in the comments below. Is there a specific transfer portal target that you want the Oklahoma Sooners to go out there and look at? So after the recent portal hits of Corey Roberson, Jaden Davis, Damon Harmon, Jamarian Burt, and Cullen Montgomery, there were a couple scholarship spots that I think were opened up, and the Oklahoma Sooners are now starting to look to fill those spots. They did, however, land a commitment from Brennan Thompson, the electrically fast wide receiver who was at the University of Texas and now is at the University of Oklahoma. But they are looking at another wide receiver, another cornerback, and another offensive lineman. So let's go ahead and dive into that first. The first one that we got to talk about is Jordyn Tyson, the wide receiver from the Colorado Buffaloes. Was a true freshman last year in 2022 out of Allen, Texas. Kind of pick up on that. Allen, Texas. You got Michael Hawkins, who was at Allen at one point. Oklahoma's got some ties there with Allen, Texas, especially with Kyler Murray. But in 2022, he had 22 receptions, 470 yards, 4 touchdowns. His longest catch was 81 yards. He had 3 carries for -4 yards. But hey, you know what? If you could get another receiver here, especially a young receiver, to come in and challenge for depth, challenge for a starting spot, it's only going to make your wide receivers better. It's only going to make that room better. It's only going to make them improve. So, Jordyn is on campus. That was confirmed by this, I believe it was the Stoops Bros on Twitter, where they had gotten a video of Jordyn Tyson had posting something on Instagram of being in Norman. So that is exciting for Oklahoma Sooners fans, knowing that you've got a 6'2", 180-pound wide receiver potentially looking at you. And hey, that was one guy that was at Colorado with Deion Sanders. So hey, you know what? I'll always take somebody from Deion. But additionally, the Sooners, and I have heard this, I haven't confirmed it, have Troy Everett, the inside offensive lineman, 6'3", 280-pound kid from App State on campus. Now, this, I think, is just rumors. I have not confirmed this. I have not confirmed that he is on campus. I haven't seen anything. But currently crystal balled to end up at Virginia Tech. Troy Everett could be a guy that helps, again, provide depth for the Oklahoma Sooners, especially since you've kind of lost a couple guys like Bray Walker, Cullen Montgomery, and others to the transfer portal. You just need to get some bodies in there in case you do have injuries show up, because we know the offensive line is an area where guys can maybe, potentially see an injury a little bit quicker. Additionally, you have Troy Amos, who has received 14 Power 5 offers in the last 24 hours since entering the portal. So what's one thing to notice here? Well, if he's got that many offers in 24 hours, he's definitely a guy that is wanted across the country. Here's his offer sheet: Texas A&M, Penn State, Illinois, Oregon, Ole Miss, Michigan State, Arkansas, LSU, Miami, Auburn, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida, and Michigan. So Trey Amos, a guy that is wanted by everybody in the country as a 247 composite prospect in the class of 2020, was ranked 1,462 as a 3-star out of I believe it's Iberia, Louisiana. Hey, you know what? If you can go out there and you can land a guy like Trey Amos, who every other team in the country obviously wants, especially all the big-time programs, because, well, when you look at that list, that's really what it is. They're all big-time programs wanting him. Then that's a huge win. Because, well, you might say, Preston, why do we need another cornerback? We got so much depth in that room. Okay, but you lost 2 safeties and a starting cornerback to the portal. So, you're going to have to, again, try to generate some more depth there, because if somebody goes down, you need experienced depth to be able to come in and help you out. So something to point out, something to notice, that Oklahoma Sooners are looking at another cornerback as well, along with another wide receiver, especially after they just took one. But who could the Oklahoma Sooners be looking for outside of these guys? And I think, one of the guys that I think Oklahoma potentially could take a look at, a guy that originally had an Oklahoma offer back, and I believe it was the class of 2021, was Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is a 6'5", 250-pound defensive lineman out of Auburn. He was part of that 2021 class. In 2 years at Auburn, had 5 solo tackles, 7 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 fumble recovery, 1 pass breakup. So, important to note with Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks was a high 4-star recruit out of high school, a top 80 player in the country. He was wanted by places like Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Florida State, Georgia, the 2-time defending national champions. For crying out loud, you don't want a guy that they wanted? LSU, Texas, Texas A&M, USC, and Clemson, who, mind you, he was recruited by Todd Bates at Clemson. So I would keep an eye out for Dylan Brooks. This could potentially be somebody that Todd Bates and Brent Venables potentially throw an offer out to because, well, you need some more depth on that defensive line. You've got great guys there, but with Jonah Laulu switching to the inside from being an edge rusher, you're definitely going to want to have a little bit more experience there, depth to help you out, definitely in the middle of the season, especially when you go play against an offensive line like Texas or potentially even Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game, because Kansas State could potentially get there. Guys, Kansas State had a really good spring game. They definitely looked really good. So, guys, go ahead, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are around the Oklahoma Sooners and the transfer portal. Is there somebody specific that is in the transfer portal that you would like the Oklahoma Sooners to potentially go out there and take? Is there somebody from the Sooners that entered the portal that you would like to see return? What's your guys' thoughts? I'm curious because there's lots of options for the Sooners. I think Dylan Brooks would definitely be a great take, especially for Todd Bates and Brent Venables, because I get it. We love our guys and we need to be behind our guys, but also at the same time, you have to be able to play the best guys. And sometimes you guys have to bring depth in to that room to make your guys better. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope that makes sense. I'm a little tired. It's Wednesday. I've got a trip coming up on Friday. So as you can tell, I'm ready to get out of the house. But guys, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Who do you think the Oklahoma Sooners should dip into the transfer portal and take? Are there any more transfer portal additions from the Oklahoma Sooners that you potentially see or project? And guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell.